On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Reticent.
Disposed to be silent or uncommunicative, restrained or reluctant to speak, inclined to keep one's thoughts or feelings to oneself.
Examples:
Reticent nature. Reticent response. He was always reticent about his personal life and rarely shared any details with others.
Arrest.
To take into custody.
Examples:
Arrest the thief. Arrest the progress. A police officer has the authority to arrest a criminal.
Protest.
A strong expression of disagreement, disapproval, or opposition.
Examples:
Hold a protest. A silent protest. He left the party in protest at its radical political stance.
Tenant.
A person or group who occupies or has temporary possession of a property or space owned by someone else, typically through a rental agreement or lease.
Examples:
Responsible tenant. Residential tenant. The building's tenant agreement outlines the rights and responsibilities of both parties.
Instrument.
An object used to make musical sounds, such as a piano, guitar, or drum, a tool or device used for a specific activity, particularly in specialist or scientific work.
Examples:
Musical instruments. Surgical instruments. This electronic instrument is required to undergo periodic inspections to ensure precision.
Satellite.
An electronic device that is sent up into space and moves around the Earth or another planet, used for gathering information or communicating by radio, television, etc.
Examples:
A GPS satellite. A meteorological satellite. Launching an artificial satellite contributed to the technological development of our country.
Observation.
The act or activity of carefully examining or monitoring something or someone.
Examples:
Class observation day. Observation instrument. In the hospital, she will remain under constant observation.
Venus.
The planet second in order from the Sun.
Examples:
Venus orbiter. Surface of Venus. They launched a rocket toward Venus.
Intense.
Especially of a feeling, very strong, extremely sharp or severe.
Examples:
Intense heat. Develop intense itching. That statement by the Prime Minister drew intense international criticism.
Microwave.
A form of electromagnetic radiation with wavelengths ranging from about 1 mm to 1 meter and frequencies between 300 MHz, 0.3 GHz, and 300 GHz. An electric oven that cooks food by exposing it to high-frequency electromagnetic radiation, which causes the food molecules to vibrate and heat up quickly.
Examples:
microwave radiation, microwave popcorn. I heated my leftover food in the microwave oven, which tasted just as good as freshly cooked.
Radiation.
The energy that comes from a nuclear reaction in the form of rays, waves, or particles, and that can be hazardous to health.
Examples:
exposure to radiation, electromagnetic radiation. He tried every possible treatment, including chemotherapy and radiation therapy.
Ionosphere.
The region of the Earth's atmosphere that starts at about 50 kilometers above the surface and extends into outer space, containing a high concentration of ions and free electrons.
Examples:
upper ionosphere, mid-latitude ionosphere. Scientists use ionosphere monitoring stations to keep track of solar activities and their impact on our planet.
Extreme.
Very great in amount or degree.
Examples:
extreme sports, extreme weather events. Solar gravity creates extreme pressures and temperatures.
Confirm.
To support or establish the truth or certainty of something previously believed or suspected to be the case.
Examples:
confirm the diagnosis, confirm a transaction. Please write to confirm your reservation.
Spacecraft.
A vehicle designed to travel through space, typically carrying astronauts or scientific instruments.
Examples:
spacecraft launch, alien spacecraft. The human-crewed spacecraft successfully landed on the Moon, fulfilling its mission.
Degree.
A unit of measurement for angles, temperature, or level of proficiency or achievement, a rank or level of academic or professional attainment.
Examples:
bachelor's degree, degree centigrade. She received her degree in psychology from the university.
Carbon.
A chemical element that can be found in pure form as diamond or graphite, and it is also an essential part of coal and oil and is found in all plants and animals.
Examples:
carbon dioxide, carbon emission. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and give off oxygen.
Oxide.
A chemical compound that contains at least one oxygen atom and one other element.
Examples:
silver oxide, combined oxide. The blood's red coloring comes from iron oxide.
Atmosphere.
The mass of air that surrounds the earth, the pervading tone or mood of a place, situation, or creative work.
Examples:
Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. A convivial atmosphere. The spaceship began to burn up as it approached the Earth's atmosphere.
Fortunate.
Having good luck or lucky.
Examples:
Fortunate situation. Less fortunate person. He was pretty fortunate to pass the exam.
Propose.
To make a proposal, declare a plan for something.
Examples:
Propose the amendment. Propose changes. I want to propose a toast in honor of our long-standing relationship.
Experiment.
The scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
Experiment design. Series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Veil.
A piece of fine cloth worn by women to cover or conceal the face. Verb, to cover, conceal, or obscure.
Examples:
Veil of mystery. Veil her face. He lifted her veil with both hands.
Smog.
A type of air pollution that forms a mixture of smoke and fog resulting from the combustion of fossil fuels, industrial activity, and motor vehicle emissions in urban areas.
Examples:
Smog alert. Toxic smog. The heavy smog in the city was causing health issues for the residents.
Sulfur.
Also sulfur, a chemical element with the symbol S and atomic number 16, found in many minerals and sulfur compounds, often used in the production of fertilizers, rubber, paper, and other industrial applications.
Examples:
Sulfur dioxide. Sulfur mine. The sulfur emissions from the nearby factory caused the rotten egg smell.
Acid.
Sour, water-soluble chemicals with a sour flavor, any of a variety of generally liquid compounds capable of reacting with and occasionally dissolving other materials.
Examples:
An acid reaction. Good source of essential amino acids. During pregnancy, the stomach generates less acid than usual.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
Involve a lot of paperwork. Involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Calculation.
The act or process of using numbers to judge an amount of something.
Examples:
Make a calculation. Calculation of loss and gain. The error in the calculation was attributable to rounding.
Greenhouse.
A building with walls and roof made chiefly of transparent material, such as glass, for growing plants in.
Examples:
Exotic plants in a greenhouse. Emissions of greenhouse gases. The greenhouse effect is a phenomenon that happens naturally.
Atmospheric.
Pertaining to or located in the Earth's atmosphere.
Examples:
Doubling of atmospheric carbon dioxide. Atmospheric pressure. The sea surface temperature and atmospheric circulation are inextricably linked.
Composition.
The different parts of something's elements or ingredients, the way in which the different components are organized, a piece of music written by someone.
Examples:
Age composition of the population. The piano passages in the composition. Their innovative concepts were consistent across their bodies of composition.
Eventually.
Finally, particularly after a long time or a lot of struggle, complications, and so on.
Examples:
Eventually become obsolete. Eventually succeed. The corporation eventually dominated the entire tobacco business.
Resigned.
Having accepted something unpleasant or difficult, particularly a job or situation, without complaint or resistance, accepting one's fate or circumstances.
Examples:
With a resigned voice. Resigned to their fate. She had a resigned look on her face when she realized that she had lost the race.
Principal.
Most important, main, or chief.
Examples:
Principal actor. Principal responsible. The principal reason for the company's success is its innovative products.
Investigator.
A person whose job is to conduct an investigation or inquiry into something, often to gather information or evidence.
Examples:
Private investigator. Clinical investigator. The forensic investigator collected DNA samples from the crime scene to identify the perpetrator.
Planet.
Any of the 9 large celestial bodies that circle in the solar system, any celestial body that revolves around a star.
Examples:
Planet like the Earth. Save the planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun.
Humanity.
All people living on the Earth, the quality or state of being human rather than an animal, a machine, etc.
Examples:
Humanity at large. Mass of humanity. They donated large sums of money for the development of humanity.
Physicist.
A scientist who specializes in the field of physics.
Examples:
talented physicist, theoretical physicist. Einstein was an outstanding and famous physicist of the 20th century.
Laboratory.
A workplace for doing scientific research or teaching science, a lab.
Examples:
laboratory accident, anthropology laboratory. Animal protection groups call for an end to animal testing in a laboratory.
Measurement.
The act or process of finding something's size, quantity, or degree.
Examples:
chest measurement, a precise measurement. The measurement error of this industrial machine is less than 1 micrometer.
Infrared.
Relating to or denoting electromagnetic radiation with a wavelength just longer than that of red light but shorter than that of microwave radiation, used for sensing heat and for remote control.
Examples:
an infrared lamp, infrared radiation. The infrared camera revealed a hidden image on the surface.
Absorb.
To take in a fluid or other substance gradually.
Examples:
absorb energy, absorb a shock. The sponge absorbs water well.
Blanket.
A large piece of soft material used to cover or wrap a person or thing to keep them warm. Adjective, broad in scope or content.
Examples:
blanket authority, blanket scarf. The electric blanket keeps me warm on cold nights.
Analyze.
To think about in depth and evaluate to discover essential features or meaning.
Examples:
analyze a chemical compound. Analyze your real motives. The teacher attempted to analyze the root cause of our mistake.
Climate.
The weather in a particular location averaged over some long period.
Examples:
a cold climate. Effects of climate change. Climate and weather have an impact on every part of our lifestyles.
Conclude.
To come to an end or close, to reach a judgment or opinion by reasoning.
Examples:
conclude a meeting. Conclude that he is healthy. We concluded a ceasefire.
Observe.
To watch or notice something carefully, often to gather information or insights, to take note of something or someone, to celebrate or commemorate a special event or occasion.
Examples:
observe a tradition. Observe wildlife. It is important to observe safety procedures in the workplace to prevent accidents.
Consistent.
Always behaving or happening in the same way, or having the same thoughts, standards, etc.
Examples:
Do on a consistent basis. Get consistent results. You are not consistent in your behavior.
Exceed.
To surpass or go beyond a limit, expectation, or requirement. To be better or greater than anticipated or desired.
Examples:
exceed sales targets. Exceed the speed limit. The athlete's performance exceeded all expectations, breaking a world record.
Random.
Made, done, or happening without method, conscious decision, or any regular pattern.
Examples:
a random choice. Bombs fell at random. To find drunk drivers, police conduct random tests.
Shifting.
Constantly changing or moving.
Examples:
shifting balance. Continuously shifting landscape. Trends in the fashion industry are so shifting that it is challenging to keep up with them.
Zone.
A specific area, region, or section that is marked off or defined in some way.
Examples:
time zone. Zone defense. He was reluctant to leave his comfort zone and try something new.
Drought.
A long period of time during which there is very little or no rain, leading to a shortage of water and often causing damage to crops and other vegetation.
Examples:
periods of drought. Drought conditions. The region has been experiencing a severe drought, leading to water shortages and crop failures.
Prone.
Inclined or likely to do something or to show a particular characteristic, especially something bad, lying face downward.
Examples:
accident prone. Prone to diarrhea. He was prone to making rash decisions.
Erosion.
The wearing away of rock, soil, or land by natural processes such as wind or water.
Examples:
erosion control. Wind erosion. The erosion of the coastline has accelerated due to rising sea levels.
Fable.
A short story, often with animal characters, that teaches a general truth or a moral lesson.
Examples:
classic fable. Moralize a fable. In his speech, he quoted a passage from a well-known fable.
Testify.
To provide evidence or give a statement under oath, often in a legal or formal setting, such as a court of law. To bear witness to or affirm the truth of something based on personal knowledge or experience.
Examples:
testify under oath. Testify as an alibi witness. The witness took the stand to testify about what she saw on the night of the crime. Congress. A formal meeting of the representatives of different countries, constituent states, organizations, trade unions, political parties, or other groups.
Examples:
An international congress. Peace Congress. Congress must consider this proposal in an unusual situation.
Testimony:
A formal written or spoken statement that something is true, especially one given in court, something that serves as evidence.
Examples:
Testimony before Congress. Give his testimony. Witness testimony backed up the defendant's claims.
Emphasize:
To give or show particular importance to something.
Examples:
Emphasize her words. Emphasize a direct relationship. Use italics or capitals to emphasize a word in a piece of writing.
Cycle:
An interval during which a recurring sequence of events occurs, a bicycle or motorcycle.
Examples:
The cycle of the seasons. Go to the workplace by cycle. The food chain causes a material cycle.
Vapor:
A mass of tiny liquid drops in the air.
Examples:
Alcohol vapor. Water vapor in the atmosphere. Clouds form when water vapor rises to the upper atmosphere.
Latent:
Existing but not yet expressed, active, or visible, hidden or dormant.
Examples:
Latent desire. Latent threat. Many people have latent talents they are not aware of.
Rainfall:
The amount of rain that falls in a specific location at a particular moment.
Examples:
The mean annual rainfall. Heavy rainfall. These plants thrive in hot climates with abundant rainfall.
Flood:
A large amount of water flowing beyond its normal limits, an overwhelming number or amount.
Examples:
Flood advisory. A flood of questions. These heavy rains caused flash floods on several islands.
Time-consuming:
Requiring a significant amount of time or effort to complete.
Examples:
Time-consuming project. Time-consuming process. Writing a research paper can be a time-consuming task.
Distracted:
Having one's attention diverted or divided, being unable to concentrate because of being preoccupied or worried.
Examples:
Get distracted by an urgent matter. Distracted by a conversation. I was so distracted by my phone that I nearly walked into a lamppost.
Complain:
To say dissatisfaction or annoyance about something or somebody.
Examples:
Complain about a job. Call and complain frequently. Our users are often complaining about the slow application.
Alter.
To cause to change or make different.
Examples:
Alter a decision. Alter data in a file. The design of the web page has altered slightly.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something. To come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Strict.
Strongly limiting someone's freedom, allowing no deviation from a standard, rule, belief, etc.
Examples:
Strict compliance regime. In strict secrecy. Too strict a regulation for the private sector will stifle innovation.
Communicate.
To share or exchange information with others by speaking, writing, moving your body, or using other signals.
Examples:
Communicate his anxieties to the psychiatrist. Communicate well with my advisor. Dolphins use sound to communicate with each other.
Mention.
To speak or write about something or someone briefly.
Examples:
Mention name. Mention in a report. I mentioned to him that I had seen his sister at the grocery store earlier that day.
Privilege.
A special right or advantage that only one person or group of people has, usually because they are rich and powerful in a society.
Examples:
A breach of privilege. Privilege of membership. In the Middle Ages, the right to hunt in the wild was the privilege of royalty and nobility.
President.
The leader of a republic, for example, the U.S., the person in charge of the organization, such as a company, university, club, etc.
Examples:
President Emeritus. Vice President for Finance. The club president does not have absolute power.
Policy.
A set of rules, guidelines, principles, or procedures that govern decision-making or action, often used in the context of business or government. A course of action or plan of action adopted or followed by an organization or individual to achieve a goal or objective.
Examples:
Health policy. Foreign policy. The company's new policy on remote work has made it a more inclusive workplace.
Fossil.
Any preserved remains, impression, or trace of any once living thing that has become hard and turned into rock.
Examples:
Burning of fossil fuels. A fossil leaf. It was the fossil of a dinosaur tooth.
Fuel.
A substance that is typically burned to generate heat or energy.
Examples:
Biomass fuel. Smokeless fuel. The manufacturing sector was most severely impacted by the fuel scarcity.
Grandchild.
A child of someone's son or daughter.
Examples:
Grandchild-grandparent relationship. Grandchild development. The grandparents take care of their grandchild while the parents are at work.
Critic.
Someone who expresses opinions about the quality of books, music, etc.
Examples:
Art critic. Severe critic. Advocates for legal reform hear less harsh words from their critics.
Appropriate.
Suitable or proper in the circumstances, fitting.
Examples:
Appropriate behavior. An appropriate time. It would be appropriate to dress nicely for the wedding.
Geophysical.
Relating to the physical characteristics and processes of the Earth and its surrounding atmospheres, such as geology, meteorology, and oceanography.
Examples:
Geophysical exploration. Geophysical data. Geophysical surveys study the physical characteristics of the Earth's surface and subsurface.
Union.
A group of employees who have banded together to advocate for their rights and better their working conditions. The act or the state of joining together or being joined together.
Examples:
Bank and credit unions. A craft union. The trade union remained adamant about its demands.
Headquarter.
The central office or location from which a business or organization is managed.
Examples:
Administrative headquarter. An emergency headquarter. The company decided to move its headquarters to New York City.
Explicit.
Stated clearly and in detail, leaving no room for confusion or doubt.
Examples:
Explicit content. Explicit instructions. The movie had an explicit sex scene that some viewers might find offensive.
Approval.
The belief that someone or something is good or acceptable.
Examples:
A written approval. Express my approval. This project took a lot of time to get the president's approval.
Aft.
The opposite of forward, located at or towards the rear or back of a ship, aircraft, or other vehicle.
Examples:
Aft cabin. Aft view. The aft section of the ship suffered significant damage after the collision with the reef.
Restriction.
A limitation or constraint placed on something, or the act of limiting or constraining something.
Examples:
Nutritional restriction, restriction on trade. The restriction on travel during the pandemic made it difficult for people to see their loved ones.
Censorship.
The act or process of suppression or restriction of any portions of books, films, news, etc. that are judged obscene, politically unacceptable, or a threat to security.
Examples:
Clear censorship by the Education Ministry. Form of censorship. Newspapers were subjected to censorship a few days later.
Consequence.
The outcome of a particular action or event, especially relative to an individual.
Examples:
Unintended consequences. The consequence of an argument. These economic activities had disastrous environmental consequences.
Justify.
To provide a valid or reasonable explanation, reasoning, or evidence in support of a belief, action, or decision. To defend or vindicate something as right or valid.
Examples:
Justify my beliefs. Justify your decision. The lawyer tried to justify his client's actions by presenting evidence of their difficult upbringing.
Delete.
To remove something, especially that has been written, to wipe out digitally or magnetically recorded information.
Examples:
Delete a file. Delete this modification. Highlight the sentences that you want to delete.
Urgency.
The quality of being very important and needing to be dealt with immediately.
Examples:
Urgency in the use of force. Matter of urgency. She departed hurriedly because of some significant urgency in their affairs.
Physics.
The science of matter and energy and their interactions.
Examples:
Nuclear physics. Laws of physics. He studied the physics of radiation.
Balance.
A condition in which everything has the same weight or force, something left after other parts have been taken away.
Examples:
The balance of power. Asset on the company's balance sheet. Try to keep a balance between work and off.
Temporary.
Not lasting or be used for a very long.
Examples:
A temporary permit. Temporary housing. He managed to get temporary jobs during the recession.
Imbalance.
A situation in which two or more things are not equal or equally treated.
Examples:
Trade imbalance. Symptoms of hormonal imbalance. An imbalance in certain substances causes problems with brain function.
Radiate.
To spread out or emit something, such as light or heat, in all directions.
Examples:
Radiate an aura. Radiate in all directions. Roads radiate from the famous building in the center of the city.
Quantity:
The amount or number of something, magnitude.
Examples:
Half quantity. Residual quantity. In southward, the average annual water quantity increases.
Pipeline:
A very long, large tube that is usually underground and is used for carrying liquid or gas for long distances.
Examples:
A data pipeline. Pipeline facilities. Rebels sabotaged the main pipeline supplying oil.
Precise:
Sharply exact or accurate or delimited.
Examples:
Precise analyses. Estimate precise costs. The content is precise and informative for me.
Reservoir:
A natural or artificial lake used to store water for community use, a large or extra supply of something.
Examples:
A reservoir of facts. Water reservoir. The machine pumps up crude oil from a deep underground reservoir.
Measured:
Done with careful consideration or calculated precision, controlled or regulated in manner or speech, deliberate and thoughtful.
Examples:
Measured analysis. Measured tone of voice. Her measured response to the criticism showed her ability to remain calm and composed under pressure.
Distribute:
To give something to a large number of individuals, or to spread or furnish something.
Examples:
Distribute wealth evenly. Distribute video content. His estate was distributed to his sons.
Rev:
A measure of the rate at which an engine or motor rotates, often expressed in revolutions per minute, RPM, verb, to increase the number of rotations per minute.
Examples:
Low rev engine. Rev up the crowd. He stepped on the gas pedal, and the engine released a loud rev.
Substantial:
Fairly large in size, value, or importance.
Examples:
A substantial amount of capital. Have a substantial meal. The pandemic was a substantial business opportunity for certain companies.
Melt:
To turn from something solid into something soft or liquid as a result of heating.
Examples:
Melt the ice. Melt down gold. Her resistance melted under his persuasion.
Depth:
The distance between the top and bottom of something, between the top surface and a distance below it.
Examples:
depth camera, the depth of the water. The pond's depth was around 5 feet.
Meter.
A device used to measure the amount of a particular substance or attribute, such as length, volume, or time. Prosody, the accent in a metrical foot of verse.
Examples:
a gas meter, poetic meter. The meter on the wall showed that the room was 3 meters long.
Watt.
A standard unit for measuring electrical power.
Examples:
30-watt light bulb. Watt per square meter. Several hectares of land are needed to generate more than 1 megawatt solar power.
Enormous.
Extremely large or great.
Examples:
enormous amount. Enormous potential. Shakespeare's output of poetry was enormous.
Equivalent.
Having the same value, quality, meaning, purpose, etc.
Examples:
equivalent amounts. Equivalent in meaning. The European Central Bank is Europe's equivalent of the Federal Reserve.
Explode.
To burst or break open violently and noisily, to cause something to burst or break open.
Examples:
explode in anger. Explode in popularity. The old building exploded in a fiery inferno.
Atomic.
Of or relating to atom, equals the smallest component of an element.
Examples:
atomic nucleus. Atomic bomb. Carbon has an atomic mass of 12.
Bomb.
A weapon that explodes and is used to kill or injure people or to cause damage to something.
Examples:
atomic bombs. Disarm the bomb. The use of cluster bombs is strictly prohibited by international law.
Stabilize.
To become or cause to become steady or unlikely to give way.
Examples:
stabilize prices. Stabilize blood sugar levels. The raising of interest rates stabilizes the inflation rate.
ppm.
An abbreviation for parts per million, used to express the concentration of a substance in a solution or mixture.
Examples:
ppm volume fraction. ppm level. According to the World Health Organization, the recommended safe lead level in drinking water is 15 ppm.
Restore.
To repair or return something or someone to a previous good state or position.
Examples:
restore order. Restore the emperor to the throne. The military regime has promised to restore democracy as soon as possible.
Deny.
To state that one refuses to admit the existence or truth of something.
Examples:
Adamantly deny killing. Deny the allegations. He is still denying stealing the money from the cash register.
Argue.
To express differing opinions or points of view, often in a heated or contentious manner, to present a case or reasoning to persuade or convince others.
Examples:
Argue a case. Argue passionately. The couple began to argue over which restaurant to go to for dinner.
Solar.
Of, from, or relating to the sun.
Examples:
The solar system. A solar eclipse. Solar panels have greatly improved not only in performance, but also in durability.
Variation.
The act or state of changing, a difference or change in the way something is done, made, or said.
Examples:
Variation of temperature. Gene variation. There is a lot of variation in the colors of flowers in the garden.
Overwhelm.
To defeat someone or something by using a great deal of force, to have a strong emotional effect on somebody.
Examples:
He was overwhelmed with gratitude. Overwhelm opponents by numbers. Too much variety may overwhelm and confuse viewers.
Burning.
Intense or scorching heat.
Examples:
Burning desire. Burning passion. The fire spread rapidly, engulfing everything in its path in a burning inferno.
Curve.
A bend or angle in a line or surface that deviates from a straight or flat path, a gradual or smooth change in direction or shape.
Examples:
Learning curve. Yield curve. The curve in the road was so sharp that I had to slow down to navigate it safely.
Temperature.
The degree of hotness or coldness of a thing or place.
Examples:
Extreme temperatures. The atmospheric temperature. Cities around the world set records for highest temperatures this summer.
Derive.
To obtain or receive something from a source.
Examples:
Derive a conclusion. Derive knowledge from books. These English words are derived from Latin.
Core.
The most essential or fundamental part of something.
Examples:
The core of an apple. Core business activity. These gas nebulas are merely newborn galactic cores.
Sediment.
The substance that forms a solid layer at the bottom of the liquid.
Examples:
Sediment runoff. Gravel sediment. Heavy rain often washes away sediments of the river.
Snowflake.
A small, thin, delicate piece of snow, a person, especially a young person, who is perceived as overly sensitive, easily offended, or with an inflated sense of entitlement.
Examples:
Delicate snowflake. Snowflake pattern. The Christmas tree was beautifully decorated with delicate snowflake ornaments.
Pile.
A collection of objects positioned one on top of another, a large sum of something, such as money.
Examples:
A sand pile. The height of a pile. After the party, they had to clean up piles of dirty dishes.
Correlation.
A statistical relationship between two variables in which one variable is affected by the other. A reciprocal relation between two or more facts, numbers, etc.
Examples:
Ecological correlation. Correlation coefficient. There is a strong correlation between education level and income.
Slightly.
In a small degree or extent, a little.
Examples:
Increase slightly. Slightly alkaline soils. He moved his body slightly to the left.
Confuse.
To mistake one thing for another, to make somebody hard to understand.
Examples:
Confuse the listener. Confuse fantasy with reality. Her remarks confused the debate.
Vice.
Wrongdoing or wicked behavior, in the form of vice versa, with the order reversed. As a prefix, someone with a job immediately below a particular person.
Examples:
Virtue and vice. Vice chair of the committee. Cats hate dogs and vice versa.
Lag.
To move or develop so slowly that you are behind other people, organizations, etc.
Examples:
Lag a long way behind the progress. Lag behind its competition. Our interest began to lag sharply.
Orbit.
The path of an object around a celestial body, especially a planet, star, or moon, under the influence of gravity. Of medicine, the bony cavity in the skull that houses the eyeball and its associated structures, like muscles, nerves, and blood vessels.
Examples:
The orbit of the moon. A planetary orbit. The rocket engine is used to put the satellite into orbit.
Sunlight.
The light emitted by the sun, the rays of the sun.
Examples:
A glare of sunlight. Indirect sunlight. Radiation from sunlight has a different wavelength.
Latitude.
The distance of a place north or south of the Earth's equator, measured in degrees, freedom from normal restraints in conduct.
Examples:
High latitudes. Latitude of choice. The city is located at a latitude of 40 degrees north.
Shrink.
To become smaller, or to make something smaller in size or amount.
Examples:
Shrink the tumor. Shrink with fear. This shirt will shrink in the wash.
Release.
To set free or allow to escape from confinement.
Examples:
Release a prisoner. Release CO2 into the air. The animal rights group worked to release the dolphins back into the wild.
Methane.
A chemical compound with the chemical formula CH4 with no smell or color, often used as a fuel.
Examples:
Atmospheric methane. Reduce methane emissions. The ignition of methane gas in the plant killed 5 employees.
Amplify.
To enhance something, particularly sound or brightness.
Examples:
Amplify a signal. Amplify the effect. You might need to amplify this point.
Ancient.
Relating to the long ago, particularly the historical period preceding the fall of the Western Roman Empire, very old.
Examples:
Pre-Christian ancient. Ancient stories. They have been living near water since ancient times.
Oscillate.
To swing or move back and forth like a pendulum or a wave, to fluctuate or alternate between 2 points or states, to hesitate or be indecisive.
Examples:
Oscillate back and forth. Oscillate between joy and anger. The fan in the room oscillates, making the airflow more evenly.
Initiate.
To begin or start something, to teach the basics or fundamentals of something to somebody, to formally admit someone into a group or organization.
Examples:
Initiate a project. Initiate a discussion. The committee will initiate an investigation into the company's financial records.
Permafrost.
A layer of soil that is permanently below freezing, usually in polar regions.
Examples:
Permafrost area. Thawing permafrost. Permafrost is crucial to soil stability in Arctic areas.
Grace.
A quality of being pleasing, especially in appearance or manner, a temporary exemption, especially an extended period granted as a special favor, a short prayer of thanks before a meal.
Examples:
Say a grace. End of the grace period. The old oak tree stood with grace and majesty in the park's center.
Gravity.
The force that attracts a body towards the center of the earth or towards any other physical body having mass, a manner that is solemn.
Examples:
The attraction of gravity. Preserve my gravity. The astronaut felt weightless in space due to the absence of gravity.
Mass.
A large amount of a substance with no definite shape or form, a large number of people or things grouped or crowded together.
Examples:
A mass of molten rock. Critical mass. The mass of people who do not own property is politically impotent.
Cubic.
Having the shape of a cube or being of 3 dimensions, measured in units that are the third power of a linear unit.
Examples:
Cubic meter. Cubic structure. The package was a cubic shape, which made it easier to stack on the shelf.
Accelerate.
To make something faster or earlier, to cause to develop or progress more quickly.
Examples:
Accelerate a chemical reaction. Accelerate the car. The government tried to accelerate the commercialization of this development.
Estimate.
To guess or calculate the cost, the size, value, etc. of something.
Examples:
Estimate of fair value. Estimate this chicken to weigh 3 pounds. We estimated the season's total trade deficit at $50 billion.
Thereafter.
After that, subsequently.
Examples:
Not long thereafter. For several weeks thereafter. He was promoted to manager, and thereafter, he began to make changes in the company.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal, a systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective, a method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Disintegrate.
Break or cause to break into small fragments.
Examples:
Disintegrate in an explosion. Disintegrate over time. The vase disintegrated into pieces when it fell to the ground.
Stable.
Firm and steady, not easily moved, disturbed, or changed.
Examples:
In stable condition. Have a stable job. Relations between the two countries have been relatively stable due to the summit meeting.
Shoreline.
A line that separates land and sea.
Examples:
shoreline erosion, coral reef shoreline. Flooding occurs along the city's shoreline due to the storm surge.
Economy:
the system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
economy of scale, economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Unthinkable:
too unlikely or shocking to imagine or accept.
Examples:
an unthinkable coincidence, in unthinkable trouble. That accident was something unthinkable with my long experience.
Devastation:
the act of causing great destruction or damage, often on a large scale.
Examples:
financial devastation, devastation to life. The economic recession caused devastation in the housing market, with many people losing their homes.
Reprehensible:
deserving of criticism or condemnation due to being morally wrong, shameful, or improper.
Examples:
reprehensible behavior, reprehensible act. It is reprehensible to discriminate against someone based on their race or gender.
Denial:
a statement that something is not true or does not exist.
Examples:
state of denial, an absolute denial. She gave us a categorical denial of the scandal.
Exterminate:
to destroy completely, often referring to the eradication of pests or weeds.
Examples:
exterminate pests, exterminate communism. The government exterminated the invasive species to protect native plants and animals.
Monarch:
a person who rules a country, such as a king or queen.
Examples:
an absolute monarch, monarch butterflies. She came from a commoner background, but eventually became the monarch of that country.
Butterfly:
a diurnal insect typically has a slender body with knobbed antennae and broad, colorful wings.
Examples:
butterfly effect, the life cycle of a butterfly. He enjoys collecting butterfly specimens.
Develop:
to grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
develop a strategy, develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Panel.
A square or rectangular and flat piece of something that forms a distinct section or component of something. A small group of specialists who discuss particular topics or give their advice or opinion about something.
Examples:
Panel discussion. Cost of solar panels. A panel of economic advisors from the United States visited the country to help rebuild its economy.
Extinction.
The complete disappearance of a species from the earth.
Examples:
Extinction prevention. Brink of extinction. The extinction of the dinosaurs is thought to have been caused by an asteroid impact.
Business as usual.
Continuing or proceeding in the same way as usual, despite adverse events or circumstances.
Examples:
Business as usual approach. Maintain business as usual. Even though there was a crisis, the company tried to continue with business as usual.
Heatwave.
A prolonged period of hot and dry weather, often accompanied by high humidity and extreme temperatures. A sensation of intense heat, often caused by exposure to hot or humid conditions.
Examples:
Summer heat wave. Dangerous heat wave. The crops in the farming community have been significantly affected by the prolonged heat wave, leading to concerns about food security.
Exceptional.
Standing out from others in a noteworthy or superior way, unusually good or impressive, representing an exception or deviation from the norm.
Examples:
Exceptional customer service. Exceptional career opportunities. Her exceptional talent in music allowed her to become a world-famous performer.
Deviate.
To depart from an established course or plan, to change direction or take a different route or approach.
Examples:
Deviate from the norm. Deviate from the plan. It's important not to deviate from the established safety procedures.
Norm.
Something that is regarded as usual, typical, or standard.
Examples:
Norm of action. Cultural norm. The systems we have developed has accepted as industry norms.
Anomaly.
Something or someone that deviates from what is expected or normal, often in a way that is difficult to explain or understand.
Examples:
Anomaly detection. Global temperature anomaly. The sudden drop in the stock market was an anomaly that puzzled many investors.
Confidence.
The feeling or attitude that one can trust or rely on the abilities or good qualities of someone or something.
Examples:
Confidence as a teacher. Boost my confidence. Skill and confidence are an unconquered army.
Severe.
Extremely serious or bad in feeling, manner, or strict and harsh, extremely strong or vigorous.
Examples:
Severe heat. A severe case of pneumonia. The senator received severe criticism from his opponent.
Nation.
A large organized community of people living in a particular country or region and having a particular culture.
Examples:
Nation-state. A seafaring nation. The nation of Japan is known for its unique culture and advanced technology.
Drag.
To pull or haul with force.
Examples:
Drag a chair over. Drag a team down. He dragged the heavy suitcase behind him as he walked.
Attempt.
An act or effort of trying to do something, especially something difficult.
Examples:
The attempt to rescue the hostages. A reckless attempt. The third attempt was far more successful.
Vacation.
A period in which someone does not have to attend work or school and is free to do whatever they choose, such as travel or leisure.
Examples:
A short vacation. Summer vacation. Do you have a plan for a long vacation?
Accumulate.
To collect or acquire a large number of things over a long period of time.
Examples:
Accumulate cash value. Accumulate evidence. He has accumulated his wealth through real estate investments.
Enthusiastic.
Having or showing great excitement, interest, or eagerness, energetic or passionate about something.
Examples:
Enthusiastic football fan. Enthusiastic audience. She was enthusiastic about starting her new job.
Immoral.
Not conforming to accepted society standards of honesty or morality.
Examples:
Immoral behavior. Politically immoral. It is immoral to cheat on a test.
Spiral.
A curve that coils around a central point and gets progressively farther away from it as it goes around.
Examples:
Spiral staircase. Spiral design. The leaves of the fern were arranged in a spiral pattern.
Tragedy.
An event or situation causing great loss, misfortune, or destruction. A play or literature that deals with a severe and sad event and often ends with the death of the main character.
Examples:
A tragedy during work. The aftermath of this tragedy. Macbeth is a famous tragedy by Shakespeare.
Gradual.
Happening slowly over a long period of time or distance, not steep or abrupt.
Examples:
A gradual process. A gradual change. The country experienced a gradual increase in population.
Fee.
A sum of money charged for a particular service.
Examples:
Fee calculation. Service fee. The lawyer's fee for the case was $10,000.
Electron.
A tiny particle with a negative electrical charge.
Examples:
Flow of electrons. Beam of electrons. The outermost electron shell determines the chemical properties of an atom.
Resident.
A person who lives in a particular place or has their home in a place.
Examples:
A resident of the city. Resident tax. Visa renewal for resident foreigners in this country is once every 5 years.
Capita.
A Latin word meaning head, used to express the amount for each person, any head or head-like expansion on a structure, as on a bone.
Examples:
Per capita sales. The agricultural yield per capita. GDP per capita shrunk by almost 10% for the third consecutive year.
Basis.
The most important facts, ideas, or events from which something is developed, the way how things are organized or arranged.
Examples:
On an equal basis. Basis for calculation. This evidence will form the basis for our discussion.
Government.
The group of people with authority to control a country or state.
Examples:
Government bureaucracy. Government funding. The federal government is planning to increase taxes for the next fiscal year.
Dime.
An American or Canadian coin worth 1/10 of a dollar.
Examples:
Dime store. Behind a dime. He never received a dime, even from the company of a close friend.
Dividend.
A sum of money paid regularly, typically quarterly, by a company to its shareholders out of its profits or reserves.
Examples:
Dividend on equity ratio. Receive a dividend. The company announced a quarterly dividend of 50 cents per share.
Stimulate.
To encourage something to develop or become more active, to stir the feelings or emotions.
Examples:
Stimulate the economy. Stimulate the nervous system. The book stimulated my imagination.
Innovation.
The creation of a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation.
Examples:
Innovation leader. Cutting-edge innovation. The vegetarian burger was an innovation that quickly spread to the United Kingdom.
Requirement.
Something that is needed or wanted.
Examples:
Meet requirement. School requirement. What is the entry requirement for this course?
Moving.
Causing strong emotions or feelings, especially sadness or sympathy.
Examples:
Moving experience. Moving ceremony. His moving speech about his struggles with addiction brought tears to the audience's eyes.
Economical.
Providing a satisfactory return on the money, time, or effort, not using more money, fuel, etc. than necessary.
Examples:
Economical use of her time. An economical meal. It is more economical to wash your plastic bottle and reuse it.
Republican.
A person who supports or advocates for a particular form of government, typically one that has an elected head of state rather than a monarch, a member or supporter of the Republican Party in the United States.
Examples:
Republican ideology. Republican Party. Many Republican lawmakers are advocating for stricter immigration policies.
Environment.
The natural world such as air, water, and land in which humans, animals, and plants live.
Examples:
Environment affairs. Chaotic environment. Every human is responsible for taking care of the Earth's environment.
Transparent.
Easy to perceive, detect, or understand, of a material or article, permitting light to pass through freely.
Examples:
A transparent lie. Transparent crystal. The focus of these initiatives is to make the financial system more transparent.
Enlarge.
To make something bigger or larger, to become bigger or larger.
Examples:
Enlarge a photograph. Enlarge my experience. Please enlarge your new theory.
Decision.
The act or process of making up someone's mind about something, a choice or judgment reached after considering options.
Examples:
Decision authority. A selfish decision. She was struggling to make a decision between two job offers.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples:
A private individual. Individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Conservative.
Holding traditional views and values and opposed to change or innovation.
Examples:
A conservative society. conservative about production. He always makes a conservative estimation when predicting future sales.
Sever.
To break or separate something by cutting, especially suddenly and forcibly.
Examples:
sever a rope, sever a positive relationship. He severed a branch from a tree quickly.
Emission.
The act of production or sending out gas, heat, light, etc.
Examples:
global emissions of greenhouse gases. The emission of light. There are 5 distinct emissions at 5 unique wavelengths.
Subsidize.
To pay part of the cost of something to support an organization, activity, etc. financially.
Examples:
subsidize the project. Subsidize the cost. Governments subsidize renewable energy generation in various ways.
Doll.
A child's toy that typically represents a human figure, especially a young girl, an attractive woman, a woman who is subservient or passive.
Examples:
plastic doll, rag doll. The antique doll was worth thousands of dollars.
Encouraging.
Giving hope, confidence, or support, inspiring.
Examples:
encouraging approval. Encouraging sign. The test results were encouraging and showed improvement.
Extract.
A short passage taken from a book, piece of music, etc., a substance obtained from something through a specific process. Verb, to obtain from something or to remove something by effort or force.
Examples:
a brief extract from the book. Botanical extract. Anesthetize the gum before extracting the teeth.
Removal.
The act of taking something away or off from a particular place.
Examples:
dental tartar removal. Removal truck. The removal of the statue caused much controversy in the community.
Frack.
To inject water and chemicals into the ground at high pressure to fracture the rock and release the gas or oil, especially to extract them.
Examples:
frack the land. Frack multiple wells. The energy company plans to frack the shale deposit to extract natural gas.
Tar.
A thick, sticky substance that is dark in color and is commonly used for road surfacing or as a material for roofing, a common byproduct of burning coal or wood.
Examples:
tar residue. Tar component. The road workers spread tar over the cracks in the pavement to prevent water and ice from causing further damage.
Sand.
Finely granulated particles of rock or mineral material, typically found along beaches, deserts, or riverbeds, used in construction, landscaping, and other applications requiring drainage or abrasive action.
Examples:
Sand dunes, sand castle. The sand on the beach was warm and golden.
Shale.
A sedimentary rock formed from the accumulation of fine-grained clay, silt, or mud, often used in construction or as a source of fuel.
Examples:
Shale rock, shale gas. The geologist studied the shale layers in the rock formations to determine their age.
Arctic.
Of or relating to the region around the North Pole or the Arctic Ocean, very cold.
Examples:
Arctic ice, high Arctic. Cold temperatures and long, dark winters characterize the Arctic climate.
Drill.
A tool or machine used for making round holes or driving fasteners, a training or practice.
Examples:
The drill hit the well. Fire drill. Several military drill programs have become popular methods of exercise.
Guarantee.
To promise something will happen formally, especially that certain conditions about a product, service, or transaction would be met.
Examples:
Guarantee a high quality. Guarantee women equality. We cannot guarantee enough raw material sources.
Tip.
The top or extreme point of something slender or tapering, usually a mountain or hill. A piece of advice about something practical, a small amount of money given for services.
Examples:
The tip of a paintbrush. Give the waiter a tip. I will introduce some tips on learning English in this class.
Disintegration.
The process of something breaking down or falling apart physically or metaphorically, the state of being weakened or destroyed.
Examples:
Disintegration process. Cultural disintegration. The disintegration of the old bridge was a warning sign of its impending collapse.
Generation.
All the people born and living at about the same time, regarded collectively, the production of heat or electricity.
Examples:
Generation gap. The generation of electricity. The younger generation has different values and beliefs than the older one.
Fraction.
A small part or item forming a piece of a whole, the quotient of two rational numbers.
Examples:
A fractional share of the vote. A numerator in a fraction. He spent only a fraction of his earnings.
Committed.
Willing to put in a lot of effort, time, and energy into something, firmly believing in something. In a committed relationship. Strong and committed sales staff. Our company is strongly committed to meeting customers' needs.
Intensify.
To increase or make something increase in extent or strength.
Examples:
Intensify diplomatic efforts. Intensify a good relationship. Rebels have pledged to intensify the armed struggle against the dictatorship.
Severely.
Very badly or seriously.
Examples:
Severely burned arm. Criticize him severely. Her company was severely affected by the bank's failure.
Massive.
Enormous amount, very heavy and solid.
Examples:
Massive amounts. Massive stars. The recent economic downturn has resulted in massive layoffs.
Famine.
A severe shortage of food, often caused by drought, war, or economic reasons.
Examples:
Famine relief. Coal famine. The severe famine caused by the drought has left many people without food.
Decline.
To become gradually smaller, fewer, worse, etc., to refuse to accept.
Examples:
Decline a job offer. Decline in quality. As people age, their digestive capacity also gradually declines.
Giant.
Extremely big, much bigger or more important than similar items usually are.
Examples:
Giant trees. Giant tech company. The giant jets that gradually dominate the world's airlines.
Asteroid.
A small rocky body orbiting the Sun, typically in the region between Mars and Jupiter.
Examples:
Asteroid mining. Asteroid explorer. Scientists are studying the composition and origins of the asteroid belt to understand the early solar system better.
Collision.
An instance of two or more objects or entities crashing into each other, usually resulting in damage, impact, or conflict.
Examples:
Collision detection. Come into collision with my friend. The collision of tectonic plates can result in new mountain ranges, such as the Himalayas or the Alps.
Dither.
To be indecisive or unsure about something, to tremble or shake with nervousness or excitement.
Examples:
Dither over a decision. Dither in negotiations. I couldn't decide what to wear to the party, so I dithered over my outfit for hours.
Divert.
To change the course or direction of something, often away from a specific path or target, to entertain or amuse someone, often to distract them from a problem or concern, To appropriate something for a different purpose.
Examples:
Divert attention. Divert an assault. Due to the road construction, we had to divert our course to get to the restaurant.
Reduction.
A decrease in size, amount, or degree.
Examples:
Reduction strategy. A gradual reduction. The reduction in carbon emissions has been significant since the implementation of the new policy.
Alarm.
A loud noise or an automatic signal that warns people of danger. A device that signals the occurrence of some undesirable event or particular danger.
Examples:
Give the alarm. An alarm clock. The alarm announcing an enemy attack went off this morning.
O.
To be under a moral or legal obligation to pay or do something in return for something received.
Examples:
Owe $100 to my friend. Owe him a grudge. She owes her friend a favor for helping her move.